Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Soup Bowl. Tonight's special, Fallout. The original, the amazing, the awesome Fallout. The real Fallout. Not to bitch about Bethesda or anything, but Fallout 3 isn't Fallout. This is Fallout. Alright. For you guys who don't know what Fallout is, shame on you, but I'll tell you. Fallout is one of the most amazing role-playing games ever created. In 1997 by Interplay Productions, which is the same company that held BioWare, which created such gems as Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, Neverwinter Nights, and eventually went on to create Dragon Age and Mass Effect. Now, in this video, we're not gonna get started yet, because first we have to create a character, and for that I need your help. Now, if you already know Fallout, I'm not gonna force you to sit through me explaining what all the skills do, so just pop on down to the comment section and give me a suggestion. For you guys who don't know, just sit tight and listen. Now, Fallout was originally meant to be based on the GURPS engine, which stands for Universal Role-Playing System, I believe. A game system not unlike Dungeons and Dragons, only very complicated, and you can basically screw yourself over before you've even started a game. Now, unfortunately for Peter Jackson, he pulled out at the last minute, and Interplay was forced to create their own system. Now, they came up with a special system, which is based on the names of the stats. Special is, as we all know and love, the system used by Fallout, but also by another game they produced. It's called Lionheart, I believe, which is like a sort of medieval setting using the same engine as Fallout, but it got crippled by bugs and being rushed out through to the store, so it never got off. Alright, Fallout is like many RPGs which have a bit of an open end. It has the problem that you have a lot of options, but most of the options are fairly niche, and there's clearly better options than the others. Anyway, I'm on a 15-minute timer, so let me just explain what all these numbers and stuff means. These are your stats, which are your basic, like Dungeons and Dragons, strength, dexterity, whatever. These are your skills, which is how good you are at various guns and sneaking and stuff, and your optional traits, which is every trait has a good like a good thing and a bad thing with them. These are your derived stats. This as well, fairly self-explanatory. You have your hit points, and your armor class, and your carry weight and whatever. Alright. As I explain what all these things do, we have our little Pip-Boy here showing exactly what it's about. So, the first stat is strength, which modifies your hit points, your damage, and whatever. Perception, which means how far you can see enemies and how good you are at shooting guns. Endurance, your hit points and your resistance to poison, radiation, all that kind of stuff. Charisma, quite self-explanatory. Unfortunately, in Fallout 1 it doesn't really do anything, it just modifies your skills. In Fallout 2, the number of companions you can get is based on your charisma, but in this game it really doesn't do a lot. Intelligence modifies the amount of skill points you get at level up, really handy. Agility, it besides modifying some skill points, and armor class. Agility is the most important stat you can have because it modifies your action points. I'll get to that in a minute. The final stat we have is luck, which is kind of the odd egg out. It modifies critical hit chance, and yeah, you can run into random encounters which can give you nice goodies. This is based on luck as well as gambling. Alright, so that's it for the stats. Skills, we have small guns, which is arguably actually the best combat skill, if only that for the reason that there's a lot of small guns in the game. From your lowly 10mm pistol you start with to the mighty sniper rifle, they're all small guns. You will never be shy of a weapon if you pick small guns. Big guns, these encompass your miniguns, rocket launchers and flamethrowers, and that's actually the only 3 weapons you can use with the big gun skill. Ammo is quite rare for them, and yeah, you don't really get to use this skill a lot. Energy weapons is your basic laser rifles. Doesn't really come into play until later in the game. Unarmed is beating people up Steven Seagal style. Melee weapons, self-explanatory. Throwing, which is throwing knives, spears and grenades. Unfortunately, it isn't really... I quite like the skill, but it's not really that good during the end of the game. Your knives and spears don't do a lot of damage. Grenades are fairly rare, and I'm not even sure if plasma grenades are in this game. I think they're in Fallout 2. So yeah, by the end of the game you're not really using the skill a lot anymore. First aid, which is well, your basic healing skill. I think it heals poison as well, but I'm not sure. You have Doctor, which heals a bit more, plus you can restore excuse me, you can restore crippled limbs. Out of these two, Doctor is probably the better one, but you find more first aid kits and they're a bit cheaper to use. Sneak lets you be stealthy. Lockpicking, steal, traps, not really that useful in this game. There's not a lot of traps, and the ones that are there are either easily avoided or don't do a lot of damage. Now these two in combination can be quite fun, as besides stealing you can also plant items on enemies, which includes ticking time bombs. So yeah, that's fun. We have science, which is your skill with computers and stuff like that. Repair, which lets you repair machinery. Speech, a really important skill, your basic diplomacy skill. Barter, there's not really money in this game as such. We use bottle caps, and barter lets you get stuff for cheaper. Gambling, the most broken skill in the game. And outdoorsman. Outdoorsman in this game isn't that useful. It lowers the chance of bad random encounters happening, and I think you travel a bit faster on the world map, but yeah, I'm not sure. Alright, now we get to traits. As I said, each one of them has a good trait and a bad trait, or a good effect and a bad effect. You have fast metabolism, which doubles your healing rate, but makes you less resistant to radiation and poison. Bruiser, which increases your strength by 2 points, but as you can see it lowers your action points, making this one of the worst skills in the game. Should still get on with what action points actually are. We have small frame, which increases your agility by 1 point and lowers your carrying weight. It's quite a good skill. One-hander, which is one of my favorite skills. It increases your skill with one-handed weapons such as pistols and knives and your fists, basically, by I think 20% extra chance to hit, but it lowers your chance to hit with two-handed weapons. So yeah, you can make quite a badass gunslinger with this one. Finesse, which lowers the damage you do on attacks but gives you a higher critical hit chance by 10%. Really good skill as well. It's quite hard at the beginning of the game, but later on you can just chain crit if you pick this one. Kamikaze, which increases your sequence. It means you act sooner in battle, but it lowers your armor class. Heavy-handed increases your melee damage with unarmed attacks, but it lowers your critical hit chance. Fast shot means it takes less action points to actually shoot with a weapon or attack, but at the cost you can make targeted shots. So you can target someone's eyes or groin, for example. It's a decent trade-off, but yeah, I like to fight dirty. I like to kick people in the groin. Bloody Mess. I won't be taking this trade under any circumstances. Basically what it does is all the death animations in the game get changed to the critical death animation. So you see the most bloody way anyone dies. It gets boring pretty quickly, and in my opinion those animations are a bit of a bonus. On the flip side, it changes the ending sequence of the game to one of the most badass endings you can think of, but yeah, it's not worth it in my opinion. Also, you get locked into a certain style of play because no matter what you do, the ending is always the same. Jinxed, more critical failures for you and more critical failures for everyone around you in combat, which includes your guns jamming, your guns exploding into your hands, all that good stuff. It's difficult to play with this one. Good Natured, which lowers your starting combat skills but increases your skills at First Aid, Doctor, Speech and Barter. It's a decent trade-off. Now Chem Reliant and Chem Resistant are both the same thing except reverse. Chem Reliant means you recover twice as fast from drugs, but you have a higher chance to get addicted. And Resistant means you have a lower chance to get addicted, but you have less effect of them. Night Person makes your intelligence and perception go up during the daytime, down during the daytime, and up during the nighttime. Not really that impressive, really. Skilled gives you more skill points to play with at the trade-off that you get less perks. Now perks I'll come to in a minute. I have 2 minutes left. And Gifted is the cheater trade, so I'm not picking that one. Now, action points. The game is played in on a turn-based sequence. So action points is basically the currency you have. So the more action points you have, the more stuff you can do in combat, such as moving and attacking. For that reason, I will never go below 6 agility on a character. Preferably 8, actually. But alright. Now perks are extra bonuses, such as, well, you can compare them to feats in Dungeons & Dragons. You get them every 3 levels and they give like small bonuses. What I need from you guys, I need you to tell me an archetype. Also, we can be male or female. An archetype. Now, what should our character look like? Will he be a doctor kind of guy, a gunslinger, a sniper, just something like that, like an overarching idea. Also, I need you to tell me if we're gonna be a goody-goody two-shoes or a badass. Either way, this game is gonna be fun because the dialogue is just awesome. Next, pick a few skill stats in the special which I should focus on. Give me 3 tag skills. Tagging a skill gives you some more percentage to hit or percentage in the skill and increases it faster on level up. And give me some traits. Yeah, I'm hurrying along because I don't have a lot of time anymore. So, alright, I'll post further information into the video description. I thank you for watching. I'll leave this video up for a couple of days, see if I get any responses, and then I'll get started in the game. I thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.